Hey guys, welcome to Amy Ulmer Yoga. We're going to do a flow to open and strengthen your neck, shoulders, and upper back. So we'll start in a restorative position with the blocks. You'll need 2 blocks, one on its highest edge towards the back of the mat and one on either the first or the second level in front of that one. So you'll come onto your back and you have to kind of take time to find the sweet spot. It's right behind your heart, and then let your head come down to the block and make sure it's stable, and then take your time to find that spot where it feels just right, kind of in the middle of your thoracic spine. And then with your legs, you have a couple of options. You can keep your knees bent, you can stretch them out long and let the feet flop open like in Shavasana, or you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees go wide. Just find a place where you can be really comfortable, and you can either close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. And begin to tune into your breath. Just inhaling, feeling chest and belly expand. And exhaling, giving yourself time to empty out completely. Releasing any thoughts no longer serving you. Be here for a couple more long, slow, smooth inhales and exhales. One more full cycle of breath. If the knees are wide, bring the hands to the outsides of the thighs and bring the knees together wherever you are. And then we'll remove the block that's behind your head, but keep the other block under your heart. Interlace fingers behind your head. We'll do a little bit of core work, but it also targets your thoracic spine. So as you inhale, just let the head lower back as far as feels good. And then as you exhale, keep your elbows wide and come up, initiating the action from your core. Inhale, lower the head towards or to the mat. And exhale, lift up using your core. We'll do a couple more of those on your own breath. Keeping the elbows wide. Inhaling to lower. to lift. Let's do 2 more like that. And then the next time you come up, we'll stay up and just prop ourselves up. And we'll come on to your knees. If that's okay on your knees, you can either just sit on your heels or you can sit up on a block in between your ankles, which I like to do. You can sit up on as many blocks as you need, or you can just sit in a cross leg position. So wherever you are, sit up nice and tall. Bring hands together at heart center. Interlace your fingers, press the palms forward and then up overhead. Really lengthen through the sides of the body while drawing your ribs in. Then as you exhale, twist towards the right using your core. Inhale back to center and exhale, twist left. Good. Inhale through center. Release the arms, bring them hands back to heart center. Interlace fingers the other way, opposite thumb and pinky on top. Press the palms forward and then overhead. Exhale to twist right. Inhale to center and exhale, twist left. Good, then come back to center. Release, interlace fingers behind you and roll the shoulders open. Keep the ribs pulling, drawing in, and then release, sweep the arms up and interlace fingers the other way. Roll the shoulders open. Take care not to jut your ribs forward and stick your butt out, but keep drawing ribs and navel in and lifting from your armpits. And then release. This time we'll reach the arms up. Bend your right elbow and press the left hand down on top, sending the right palm down the back. You can stay right here, or the left thumb can come around and down. If fingers can catch fingers or close, spin the right tricep in towards your face and roll the left shoulder open. Reach up through the right elbow. Good, then release, reach both arms up. This time left elbow bends, the right hand presses down on top. You can stay right there, or the right thumb can come around and down to clasp. Then spin left tricep in towards your face. Roll your right shoulder open. Lift up through the left elbow and make sure your head's not crunching forward, but you're pressing it back into your arm. And then release, reach both arms up and exhale. The hands down will come onto the all fours. You can set your blocks towards the top of the mat. Bring wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. As you inhale, arch the back, draw the heart through the gates of the arms and gaze forward. As you exhale, press into the mat, tuck the chin, tuck the tail, round into your upper back. And just do a couple more of those on your own breath. Inhaling to arch and exhaling to round. Now you can start to find some creative movement, keeping with the cat-cow, maybe gazing left and shifting hips left, then rounding, shifting hips right, gazing right and arching, shifting hips left, looking left, rounding, Shifting hips right, looking right, arching. And then switching directions. Arching the back as you look left, shift hips left. And then shift hips right, look right and round into the upper back. And just keep going with that motion. Or whatever free movement feels good. It's kind of like a 3D cat-cow. And then come back to tabletop. We'll inhale, reach your right arm up. Bring the right hand behind your head. And exhale, draw your right elbow towards the eye of the left elbow. Inhale, reach your right elbow up. Exhale, bring elbow to elbow. One more time, reaching the right elbow up. And exhale, elbow to elbow. This time as you inhale, reach the right arm all the way up, and exhale, thread the right arm behind the left, lay your right shoulder and right cheek down, step the left hand a little more over to the left, press through the back of your right palm on the mat. Option to extend your left leg out to the side, the left heel's in line with your left hip. Foot is flexed. Good, then press through the left hand. Keep that left leg extended. Come up to a high kneeling position. Let the left hand slide down the left leg. The right arm comes up and over. Gate. Draw ribs and navel in. Make like a pane of glass. Feel that stretch along your right side. Good. Then come back up. We'll draw the left knee in. Come back to tabletop. This time we'll bring the left hand behind your head. Lift your left elbow up. Exhale. Draw ribs and navel in. Left elbow towards right eye of the elbow. Inhale, lift the elbow up. Exhale, elbow to elbow. Inhale, lifting the left elbow up. Exhale, elbow to elbow. This time as you reach the left elbow up, reach the arm up and exhale, thread the left arm behind the right. Lay your left shoulder and left cheek down. Step your right hand a little more over to the right. Extend your right leg out parallel to the front edge of the mat. Right heel in line with your right hip. Press through the back of the left palm. And then press through the right hand to come back up. Keep that right leg extended out to the side. Come to a high position, and then right hand slides down, right leg, left arm comes up and over. Feeling that nice stretch along the left side. And drawing ribs and navel in. Good, then come back up and draw your right knee in. We'll bring the hands down to the mat a little forward of your shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Press through your knuckle pads and grip the mat with your fingertips. Tuck the toes, press the hips up and back into down dog. Feel free to pedal out your feet, bending one knee and straightening the other leg, or getting any wiggles out that feel good. Now start to find stillness. Firm the forearms in towards each other. Spread your shoulder blades. Draw ribs and navel in. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And really lift the hips up and back. So notice if your butt is tucked under. See if you can lift your sitting bones up towards the ceiling and really lengthen through the sides of the body. Then gaze forward and slowly step your feet to your hands. Come to the top of the mat, forward fold. You can take hold of opposite elbows and hang if it feels good. You can sway side to side if that feels good. So let the head hang heavy. And then hands come to the mat. Bend your knees and inhale, sweep your arms up alongside your ears. Knit your ribs and draw your navel in. Bring a little weight into your heels. And then interlace fingers behind you. Roll the shoulders open. Exhale, bring your chest towards your thighs as you straighten the legs any amount. Good, then bend the knees, come back into chair, sweep the arms up, and then interlace your fingers, roll the shoulders open, exhale, chest to thighs, straighten the legs any amount. Good, then the hands come down to the mat or blocks, lengthen halfway, and then plant hands frame the feet, step your left foot back, lower the knee, and inhale, sweep the arms up, Anjaneyasana. You can always pad up that back knee if you need to, doubling up the mat or using a blanket. Press into your feet, firm the thighs in towards each other, and then bring hands to heart center. Exhale as you twist to right, hooking your left elbow outside your right knee. Keep pressing into the feet, lifting the heart up to your hands. Good, then the left hand comes down under your left shoulder, tuck the back toes, lift the back thigh, reach the right arm up. Good, exhale the hand down, step it back to down dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Now in plank, walk the balls of your feet back so that they're right under your heels. Puff up your upper back and gentle tuck of your tail, firm the thighs in towards each other. Then shift forward just a little bit, lower knees, chest, chin, but keep your butt high, arching your back and landing in this little back bend. And then slither through into cobra. Tops of the feet press on the mat. Lift your hands. So you're just using your back muscles to lift up. And then come all the way down. This time we'll interlace fingers at your bum. As you inhale, lift the chest and the legs. Lift the fists up any amount away from your bum. Gaze down and spin the upper inner thighs up towards the ceiling. See if you can lift up a little higher. And then take a moment, come all the way down. We'll switch the interlace of your fingers, and then inhale, lift back up, breathing into your chest, lifting the fists up. Good, then lower down, hands come by your ribs, tuck the toes, press it up and back, down dog. Good, then gaze forward and slowly step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. And then press through the feet, sweep the arms out around and up, reach tall. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back, lower the knee. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Press through the feet, firm the inner thighs in, and knit ribs in. Good, then bring the hands together at heart center. Exhale as you hook your right elbow outside your left knee. Press the palms together, press through the feet. Lift heart up to hands, broaden across your upper back, across your collarbones. Good, and then right hand comes down, inside left foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, reach the left arm up. Easy twist. And then exhale the left hand down, step it back to down dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. We'll shift forward just a little, lower the knees, chest, chin, and arch the back, landing with in the little back bend, Ashtanga Pranam. And then slithering through. This time you can use your hands to come up into low cobra, drawing the heart through the arms and the shoulder blades down the back. Good, then lower down, slide the hands by your ribs, tuck the toes. You can either press up through the all fours or through plank, and then up and back, down dog. Taking a breath. And then bending the knees, gazing forward. Bottom of the exhale, step or hop to the top. As you get there, inhale, halfway, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sink the hips, sweep the arms up by the ears. Come back into chair pose. Drawing ribs and navel in and bringing some weight into your heels. Bring the hands to heart center and exhale to twist right, hooking your left elbow outside your right knee. Drawing your left hip crease back so that your knees are in line and one's not sticking out in front of the other. And then pass back through chair at center. Exhale, hands to heart center, right elbow outside left knee. Draw your right hip crease back. Good, come back through chair. And then exhale, fold, straighten the legs any amount. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back. This time, press up to high lunge. So scoot your left ball of the foot back until it's right under your heel and straighten the back leg as best you can while you draw your ribs and navel in, and feel how that intensifies the stretch in your left psoas. Then see if you can sweep your right arm back, bringing your arms to a T and using your core to twist, drawing that right hip back and in towards the midline. Then from here, the left hand comes down, right arm reaches up, easy twist again. Exhale the right hand down, straighten the right leg, modified pyramid. So let the chin drop in towards the chest. Then bend back into the right knee, step it back to plank with the knees up or down. And then lower knees, chest, chin, arching the back, keeping the elbows in tight. slithering through into low cobra or up dog. In up dog, you're on the tops of the feet and the thighs are lifted, shoulders away from the ears. And then initiate the action from your core as you lift your hips up and back and roll or step over the toes, down dog. Take a breath. And bend the knees, gaze forward. Bottom of the exhale, step or hop to the top. As you get there, inhale, halfway lift to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet, sweep the arms up. You can take a slight back bend if it feels good. And then exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale, hinge from the hips to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back and press through the feet to come up to high lunge. Making sure you're walking your right ball of the foot back until it's under your heel and straightening that right leg as you draw ribs and navel in. Squeeze your inner thighs in towards each other. Nice. And then swim your left arm back, arms come to a T as you twist towards the left. Draw your left hip back and in towards the midline. And then right hand comes down under right shoulder. Reach the left arm up, press the back thigh up. Exhale, the left hand down, straighten the left leg, bow over the leg. Modify pyramid. Good, and bend back into the knee and just step straight back to down dog. Just taking a moment here, reconnecting with the breath. Now bring the feet together. Inhale, lift your right leg up, start to roll the hip open, bending the right knee. Keep drawing the navel in towards the spine, squaring up your shoulders towards the mat. See if you can lift that right knee a little higher, up towards the ceiling. Then level off the hips, straighten the right leg, rolling your outer right hip down. As you exhale, either step the foot in between the hands or you can pick it up and put it there, cartwheel open, warrior two. Make sure you've got a nice wide stance, that your right knee is tracking in the middle of your right foot. The back leg is strong. Relax across the tops of the shoulders and gaze over your right fingers. Bend into the right knee a little more. Reach your right arm up. Bend your right elbow. The left hand presses down on top. And you can stay right here. The left thumb comes around and down. And you're clasping fingers. Now spin your upper body from right to left, keeping that right knee tracking in the middle of the foot. Now your gaze is in the direction of the long edge of the mat. Back leg strong. Good, then release. Come forward, flip the right palm, reverse warrior, bending into the right knee. And then slowly straighten your right leg without locking out. Shift hips back, reach, reach, reach. Right hand comes to a block, shin, foot, or floor. The block will be on the right side of your right foot. Reach your left arm straight up. Lengthen from the crown of your head to your tail. And then typically we want the neck and head in line with the spine in triangle pose, but for our purposes today, gently let your right ear drop towards your right shoulder, only if it feels good on your neck. Good, then lift the head back to neutral. Bring the left arm over your ear with the palm facing down, and then swing it around in front of you and around behind. Either place it at your low back or hook it in your right hip crease. Roll your left shoulder open and really lengthen from right armpit to right hip crease. Then bend into your right knee. The right hand can come inside the right foot to the mat or a block, or your right forearm to your right thigh. Keep rolling that left shoulder open, spinning chest and belly up, drawing ribs and navel in, and keeping that back leg really strong. Breathe. Good, then release, hands frame the front foot, spin the back heel up, lunge, plant the hands, step back to plank. Lower your knees, chest, chin, keeping the butt high. And then slither through up dog or low cobra. Shoulder blades move down the back. Exhale from your core, press the hips up and back. Down dog. Just taking a moment to reconnect with your breath. And then stepping the feet together. Inhale the left leg up and back, bend the knee, open the hip. Let the right heel sink down towards or to the mat. And see if you can lift your left knee a little higher, keeping your shoulders squared up towards the mat. Then straighten your left leg and roll your outer left hip down to level off your hips. As you exhale, step the foot in between the hands and cartwheel open, warrior two. So the outer edge of the back foot is turned slightly in, left knee tracking in the middle of the left foot and stacked over your ankle. Gaze over the left fingertips and sink a little deeper, keeping that back leg really strong. Then the left arm comes up, left elbow bends, right hand presses down on top. You can stay here, or the right thumb comes around and down, clasping. Spin your left tricep in towards your face, roll right shoulder open, and move your torso, your trunk from left to right, keeping that left knee tracking in the middle of the foot. Good, then release, come forward, flip your left palm, reverse, and then slowly straighten the left leg, shift hips back, reach, 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 left hand comes to block shin or floor, right arm reaches straight up, and you're reaching your tail back and your crown forward, and really lengthening from your left armpit to your left hip crease. Now gently let your left ear drop towards your left shoulder, only if it feels good, and just feel that nice stretch along the right side of the neck. Keep elongating, keep the legs active. And then bring your head to neutral. Reach your right arm over your ear with the palm down. Then sweep the arm in front of your face, down and around behind you. Hook the right hand in the left hip crease. Roll the right shoulder open. Draw low belly in. You can gaze up towards the ceiling. Good, then bend into your left knee for half bound side angle. If you'd like, you can bring your left hand to the mat or to a block inside your left foot. Keep that back leg really strong. Keep spinning chest and belly up towards the ceiling, pinning your hips in. Good, then hands come down to frame the front foot, spin the back heel up. Take a breath here. Step it back to plank. Optional vinyasa. You can always rest in child's pose or stay or go to down dog. Shift forward, lower knees, chest, chin, arch the back, hug the elbows in, and then slither through either low cobra or up dog. Exhale, press it up and back, down dog. Nice work. And we'll bring the feet together. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. This time hips stay level. Exhale, step the foot up by your right hand. Spin the back heel down on a 45-degree angle and then press on up to warrior one. So now the hips are squaring up towards the front. You're drawing the right hip back and rolling the left hip forward. That back thigh presses back. Now lift your back ribs and draw your front ribs in towards each other. Nice. Then interlace fingers, roll your shoulders open. Exhale as you bow inside your right leg, keeping a long spine and keeping that back leg super strong, anchoring you. Breath is steady. And then on an inhale, let the fists carry you back up and straighten your right leg without locking out in the knee. We'll reach for opposite elbows or take your hands in reverse prayer, rolling the shoulders open and keeping them lifted as you hinge at your hips and fold over your right leg, drawing your right hip back, keeping the kneecaps lifted, the quads engaged, calling up energy through the legs to free up your spine. Keep those shoulder heads lifted if your hands or wherever you are. And then inhale, come up halfway, the hands come to the mat or blocks. Take your left hand under your left shoulder or to a block, your right hand to your right hip. Keep drawing your right hip. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Keep drawing your right hip back, lengthen the spine. And then as you exhale, start to twist right. Once you're revolved, reach your right arm up. Seal the outer edge of that back foot down. You might have to step it in a little bit and over to the left to keep the foot evenly grounded. Then feel like you want to plaster your torso on the side wall. Gaze up. Nice, and exhale the hand down. We'll step it back to plank. And then exhale back, down dog. We'll take it right to the other side. So feet together. Inhale the left leg up and back, keeping the hips level. And exhale, bring your left foot up by your left hand, spin the back heel down on a 45-degree angle. And inhale on up to warrior one. So we're squaring the hips up towards the front. Back thigh presses back, back, back. Draw ribs and navel in and lift your back ribs up. Good, then we'll interlace fingers behind you, roll the shoulders open. Exhale, bow inside your left leg, keeping that back leg really strong, embracing the heat building in your left quad. Good, then let the fists carry you back up as you straighten your left leg. Either take hold of opposite elbows or take your hands in reverse prayer. And then exhale, fold over the leg. Keep a little micro bend in your left knee. Let the chin drop in towards the chest. Keep drawing your left hip back and right hip forward. Really strong legs. Good, then the hands come down to the mat or blocks, come up halfway and lengthen the spine. Plant your right hand under your right shoulder or to a block under the right shoulder. Left hand to your hip. Take a moment to really lengthen, drawing your left hip back. And then as you exhale, revolve to the left, reaching your left arm up, sealing the outer edge of the right foot and plastering your torso on the side wall. And gazing up. Nice. Then exhale the hand down. Come into the lunge. Step it back to plank. Holding plank for a moment with the knees up or down. And then shifting forward, lowering knees, chest, chin, but letting the butt be high. Landing in the little back bend. And then slithering through up dog or cobra. Shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, lift up and back. Down dog. Nice. Lifting the hips up and back and letting the heels be heavy. Bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, step or hop to the top. Look up halfway, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through the feet, sweep the arms up, and exhale, hands to heart. So we'll start to shift the weight into your right foot, bending, crossing the left knee over right knee is a little bent, and then you can either hook your left ankle behind the right, or you can let the left toes float or set them on a block. Arms out to a T, cross your right elbow over left, bring the palms together, or you can grab opposite shoulders, squeeze the legs, see if you can lift your elbows a little bit if it's available. Nice, and then as you unwind, step your left foot back out wide, spinning to the long edge of the mat. Your toes are in a little bit. Draw ribs and navel in, interlace fingers behind you and roll the shoulders open. Exhale, hinge from the hips to fold. If that arm position isn't working for you, just bring the hands down to the mat. Knees can be bent. If the legs are straight, really lift your sitting bones up towards the ceiling and broaden your sitting bones to protect your hamstrings. Let your butt flare and get wide. And then hands come down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Hands to your hips, bend the knees, press on up. Spin the right toes forward, step the back foot to the top of the mat, and we'll go right to the other side for eagle. So shifting the weight into the left foot, you'll cross right knee over left. You can either set the right foot down on a block, keep the right toes floated, or hook right ankle behind left. Bring your arms out to a T, left arm over right, hooking at your elbows, bringing the palms together, or grabbing opposite shoulders. Squeezing the legs together, lifting the elbows up if it's available. Now finding a spot on your arms to steady your gaze. And then as you unwind, step out wide with your right foot. Bring the toes a little in. Interlace fingers the other way, roll the shoulders open, and exhale, fold. So keep the weight even in your feet. Make sure you're not leaning back into your heels. And lift and broaden your sitting bones. Good, and bring the hands down, come up halfway, lengthen the spine, bring the hands to your hips, bend the knees to come on up. Turn the left toes forward, step your right foot back. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, plant the hands and step back to plank. We'll take one final vinyasa, lowering the knees, chest, chin. And then slithering through into low cobra or up dog. Exhaling, down dog. And then bringing the knees down to the mat and coming up to a high kneeling position for camel. So take your hands to your hip points, draw them together and lift them up. And notice how that lengthens your tailbone down towards your knees. Keep that as you bring your hands to your low back. Draw your elbows towards each other. Lift your sternum. Feel like you're going up and over something behind you. And from here, you can either slide your hands down your thighs. You can stay where you are or reach one hand for your one heel and the other for the other heel. Shift the hips forward over your knees. Really lift your sternum. Nice, then bring the hands back to your low back to come back up. Sit back on your heels a moment. Close the eyes. And just take a moment to observe the effects of that pose. Then come back up for one more camel. So again, narrow and lift your hip points. Keep that. Hands to your low back, elbows move towards each other. Lift up and over. Either stay here, slide hands down your thighs, or this time switch the hand that you reach back for the heel for first, if that makes sense. Reach for the other heel. And then shift the hips forward, really lift your sternum. And just embrace that energy and light entering the heart space. Then bring hands back to your low back. And we'll come down onto your belly. Resist the urge to fold into child's pose just yet. So coming on to your belly, we'll bring the hands under your shoulders, bend your knees, flex your feet like you're gonna stamp the sky with your feet. And then inhale, lift your chest, keeping the elbows close in, drawing the heart through your arms, pressing the thighs down. So this is kind of a half cobra, half bow that you can stick with here if you would like. And then slowly lower. And then if you want to stick with that, you can, or we'll come into full bow. So you'll reach back for your ankles, squeeze the thighs together. On an inhale, lift the chest. See if you can lift the thighs up off the mat and use that to lift your chest even higher. Breathe. One more breath. Good, then lower down, rest your right cheek down. Wiggle the hips. See how quickly you can just let everything get really heavy, release it all. Good, then head to center. We'll take one more bow or half cobra, half bow. So take a moment to do that same action we did kneeling, where we narrowed and lifted our hip points. Keep the quads engaged, bend your knees, reach for your ankles if you're taking full bow. Flex your feet this time and inhale. Lift the chest, lift the legs. See if you can use that to lift your chest a little higher. Good, then release, rest your left cheek down. See how quickly you can get heavy. Wiggle your hips if it feels good. And then we'll head to center and we'll press up to the all fours and then down dog, just for a moment to kind of neutralize the spine. And then bring your knees back down to the mat and come on to your back for bridge. My mat has slid all over the place since I started. So come down and bend your knees, the soles of the feet on the mat, and just for a moment imagine that someone's giving you a Shavasana assist. Their hands pressing into the tops of your shoulders, the fronts of your shoulders, and rolling them down towards the mat. And now keep that. Bring the arms alongside the body with the palms down. Lengthen the low back on the mat. And then as you inhale, lift your hips up into bridge. You have several options for your arms. You can reach them overhead. You can interlace your fingers underneath you and roll onto the shoulders. Wherever you are, just spin your inner thighs down towards the mat so you're not splaying out your knees. Lift your chin slightly away from the chest. Take one more breath. And then slowly lower upper back, middle back, low back. Bring the soles of feet together. Let the knees go wide. Unless that's not comfortable, then you can bring the feet to the edge of the mat and let the knees drop in towards each other. You can close the eyes or keep a soft gaze. Then we'll bring the knees back up towards the ceiling, feet about hip distance apart. We'll set up for another bridge and grab a block, and you have the option to take a supported bridge here, placing the block on any level under your sacrum, or if you want a more active bridge, you can take that. So when you're ready, we'll lift the hips up. If you're taking the more active bridge, interlace your fingers the other way and roll onto the tops of the shoulders. One more breath if you're in the active bridge. And we'll all come into a supported bridge. So if you're not there already, we'll take a block set it on any level under the hips. Surely you'll probably want either the first or second level. And then you have the option to extend one leg and then the other. This feels really good for some people and not so good for others, so you don't have to do this. And then walk your heels back under your knees, and then we'll lift the feet up towards the ceiling. Knees can be bent. It's kind of a modified shoulder stand. Just feeling the reverse effects of gravity. Good, then lower the feet down and lift your hips to remove the block. We'll gently roll off to one side and come into down dog just for a moment to transition into pigeon pose. So if you know pigeon with the knee like this, then you can, if you know that bothers your knees or your hips, you can come onto your back and take the figure 4 pose. Otherwise, we'll, from down dog, bring your right knee in towards your right wrist and lay the shin down. Scoot your left thigh back and stretch the arms out in front. Bring your forehead down to the mat or to a block. And press your right shin down and draw your right hip back. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then gently start to walk yourself back up. Just shift onto your right hip and swing your left leg around. Bring the right sole of the foot inside the left thigh. Sit up nice and tall. And exhale, fold over the inseam of your left leg, energetically drawing your left hip back. So any amount, keeping a long spine. Inhaling to lengthen and exhaling to bow in a little deeper. With your next inhale, gently come back up. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist to left, right hand outside, left leg, left fingertips behind, gaze over the left shoulder. Good, then come back to center. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Now, if you're banana backing here, bring your hands behind you, lift your chest and stay here. Otherwise, take hold of your feet or ankles. Keep a long spine as you fold any amount. Gently come back up. We'll cross at the shins and roll forward. Come back into down dog just for a moment, setting up for pigeon second side, or doing the figure four pose on your back if you know pigeon bothers your knees or hips. And then bringing your left knee in towards your left wrist, scoot your right thigh back, and then exhale to fold. Either bringing forehead to stacked fists, a block, or down to the mat, pressing your left shin down and drawing your left hip back. Softening the muscles in the face. One more full cycle of breath. And then gently come back up and just shift over onto the left hip and swing your right leg around. The right leg extends right out of your right hip, left sole of the foot inside right thigh. Sit up tall and exhale, fold over the inseam of your right leg, energetically drawing your right hip back. Using the inhale to lengthen the spine and the exhale to fold in a little deeper. One more full cycle of breath. And gently come back up. This time we'll stretch both legs out long just for a brief forward fold. Sit up nice and tall. Make sure your pelvis is tilting forward. You might have to bend your knees to do that. And then when you're ready, fold any amount. Let the hands fall where they may, just for a breath. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to deepen, and then gently come back up. Now we'll bend your right knee and stack right knee over your left hip, keeping both feet flexed. And you can stay right here, or bend your left knee and bring the left heel alongside your right seat. So Gomukhasana, try to keep that even shape with your legs. You might have to scoot your left foot forward and your right foot back. Try to evenly ground both sides of your seat. And then inhale the left arm up, bend your left elbow. The right hand presses down on top. You can stay here, the right thumb comes around and down, fingers clasping. Then spin left tricep in towards your face and roll your right shoulder open. And this may be plenty of a stretch. If so, just stay right here. Otherwise, as you exhale, hinge from your hips and fold. We'll be here for a couple of breaths. Keep the engagement that you need, but see if you can let go of what you can. Take one more full cycle of breath. And then gently come back up and release the arms. Bring the hands behind you, soles of the feet to the mat. Let the knees windshield wiper over to one side and then over to the other side. And then we'll extend the legs out long for the second side. So bending your left knee, stacking the left knee over right. You can stay here or bring your right heel around on alongside your left seat, evenly grounding the sitting bones. One side will be different than the other, keeping that even shape with your left. The right arm up, bend the right elbow, press down on top with the left hand, then the left thumb, option come around and down, clasp fingers. Spin right tricep in towards your face and roll the left shoulder open. Stay right here if it's enough, or exhale to fold any amount. Keeping the breath steady. The breath will let you know if it's time to go deeper or when it's time to back off. Try to surrender into it. Taking one more full cycle of breath. And then gently coming back up, releasing the arms. And we'll come all the way down onto your back, hugging the knees into the chest and rocking a little side to side if that feels good. And then reaching the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, grabbing outer edges of the feet or the ankles or whatever's available. Happy baby. Can rock your baby if it feels good. Good, then release. Little lady, cross right knee over left, shift the hips off to the right, bring knees in towards your chest and over to the left with the arms out to a T. If the cross of the legs bothers your back, you can uncross your legs and just take a simple twist, either gazing up towards the ceiling or over your right shoulder. And then gently come back to center, unwind the legs. We'll shift the hips off a little bit to the left, cross left knee over right, draw the knees in and then over to the right, taking the gaze over the left shoulder if that feels good, and relaxing the shoulders. And then gently coming back to center, and either keeping the knees bent for Shavasana or stretching the legs out long. letting the feet flop open, the arms flop out with the palms up, closing the eyes if they're not already, drawing the shoulder blades underneath you and down the back, lengthening the low back on the mat. Soften the muscles around your brow and your forehead. Let the eyes relax back into their sockets. Soften the muscles around your cheekbones. Soften the jaw. And soften the tongue. The tongue be long and flat. Soften the chest. The arms and legs are heavy like lead. And the belly is soft and relaxed. And the pelvis relaxed. Each exhale, sinking a little deeper into the mat. Let your next inhale be a little deeper. Start to wiggle the fingers and the toes. Circle the wrists and the ankles. Let the head rock side to side. And then on an inhale, reach the arms up, bring the legs together and take a stretch. And gently roll off to one side. And use the strength of your arms to press yourself up to a comfortable seat, keeping the eyes soft or closed. Just bringing hands to heart center, taking a moment to honor yourself for showing up to your practice, honoring your body for all it does for you each day. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.